You're active, you've been able to do it on your own before. I'm here to tell you why doing a stem cell recovery process on your own is worse and more dangerous than you think. That's what I'm covering inside this video. My name is Dr. Chris Garcia. I'm a leading expert in stem cell recovery, and I'm here to tell you why trying to do it on your own will lead to longer delays, decreased results, and a waste of time and money. Now, when we look at what a recovery process is, when people come in to get stem cell injections, the reason you chose stem cell injections is because you have tried other types of therapies. You wanted a faster, longer lasting result that was natural, that didn't have medication or surgery, and you wanted an alternative therapy to help make you feel young again or make you feel better than you had before. Maybe you were suffering from chronic pain or autoimmune disease or things that were getting in front of your life, and you wanted to be able to conquer them with confidence. Well, you got your stem cell injections. You put all your time and energy into thinking about or debating if this was the right choice for you. You made that choice. Well, the challenge now is, well, how do I recover from this process? Is there a structure? Or maybe you've had surgeries before, or maybe you've had serious injuries, cortisone injections, PRP injections, other types of therapies, and you've been able to do that with maybe a physical therapist you know, or maybe you're really an avid, active person and you've done that on your own before in the past. And your question is, well, I've done those things before. Why not do this on my own? Well, all the time and energy went into figuring out, is this for you? You invested a lot of time and energy and money into that. And I can tell you this process is unlike any other. And there's a lot of people who I've worked with all over the world that have told me, gosh, I wish I knew this ahead of time, or if I only knew doing it by myself or on my own would have set me back and put me in a worse position. I'm gonna share why that is. So when we look at a stem cell recovery process, a very structured, conservative approach would be anywhere from a 4 to 6 month recovery process. Now, you might say, well, I want to expedite that. I want to do it on my own. Maybe you're young and maybe your body responds really well to your therapies. Well, what typically happens is in those first 2 weeks, you shouldn't be doing much. Maybe you were just doing daily activities. Weeks 2 to 6, you start to see a physical therapist where you're doing really basic exercises. When weeks 6 to 12, you're still doing body weight exercises. From weeks 12 to 16 is when you start to add resistance. Week 16, you enter the gym. Month 5 is when you start to go back to badminton, pickleball, jiu-jitsu, weightlifting, whatever your passion is. And by 6 months, you feel really, really good. Now that's debating if you're gonna have a second round of injections. Now that's a normal process. People who have no idea what a framework is, what the protocol is, and how they work, what you typically do is you're patient for those first 2 weeks. You start working out and going to the gym real light. Maybe you do aquatics. Maybe you go to the pool. Maybe you go to the gym and only do a little bit of yoga, a little bit of Pilates, and a little bit of treadmill. Well, in reality, that shouldn't be happening until month 4, and people don't realize that. So they try and push a little harder. What that means is they have a lot of setbacks, and we call flare-ups. And a lot of people don't know what that means. Well, it's a time point in which your back or knee or neck, whatever you had injections, or your shoulders, they flare up, or they have a setback where you have 2 or 3 days where you can't even sleep on your shoulder again. It feels like it was before the injections, and you think, well, man, did I mess up the injections? When reality is your body's talking to you, you're going too hard, too fast. So what you need to do is follow the protocol. So when you try and do it on your own, people have more random flare-ups, and it's only because they don't know what to do and when. So they start pushing, and then the body fights back. You have a flare-up, and it sets you back for 3 days to a week, and then you start pushing again. And so it just seems like you're just playing this ebb and flow of you push, you get flared up, you push, you get flared up, and so they seem random. Well, your setbacks or flare-ups are actually, they last longer as you go on and you have more of these things. So you'll have more random flare-ups, you'll have longer flare-ups, you'll have more frequent flare-ups, and then ultimately you have more intense flare-ups, meaning as you start, maybe that shoulder was a little achy. Gosh, I did too much in the gym, and you were like week 6 or week 7 or week 8, and you have to wait till month 4, but you didn't. So you had a random flare-up, and then you tried again, and that flare-up was no longer 3 days, now it's a week. And then you tried again, now it's no longer just a week, it's even more intense. It's a week plus 10 out of 10 pain. And so as you do this, what this does is it delays your healing. It creates a longer timeline for you to recover. Where most people would feel really good around the 4 or 6 month mark, you're not feeling good until the 9 or 12 month mark. Now, nobody wants that. You wanted long-lasting results in the shortest possible time. So if you're looking at trying to heal fast, you do not want to do it yourself. And the problem becomes is every time that you have a flare-up, you have to kind of restart and go back to the last phase of healing. And so for most people, they push, they flare up, they push, they flare up, and they just keep going. But actually they're making no progress. They're actually declining in progress. So every time that you flare up or you have this intense flare up where you can't sleep anymore, you have to go back to where you were in the recovery process and slow it down. And most people don't understand that. And what that leads to is you feel lost. You feel uncertain about your recovery. You debate, did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? Is this where I should be? And maybe you start calling your, the provider who provided the injections, or the surgeon, or the MD, or whoever it is, and you start questioning, and you start asking your physical therapist. Your physical therapist doesn't know what's happening. It just seems that your body's not responding. So everyone says, okay, just be patient, take your time, and we'll see how you feel next week. And that's a bunch of crap, because what happens is they're not being truthful for you. And the reality is you didn't know what the roadmap was or what the recovery timeline should have been. And so you started flaring yourself up. It became more intense. They were longer in time periods, and then they were more frequent. And so that got you frustrated and you didn't know. So doing it yourself delays your recovery process. It helps you have to restart every single time. You feel lost, you feel uncertain. And I think the real reality about this is not only does it feel like you're delaying your recovery and you're lost, is that you have limited outcomes or limited results. And that's the worst part for most people, is that your shoulder, your back could be feeling amazing by now. Like that concept of feeling amazing is right there in your head, and it feels like it's within grasp. But as you have more and more setbacks, more flare-ups, you get further and further away. You feel like you're going down. It's like right there and you can reach it. And you're like, I can see it, I can feel it. I'm feeling so good. And you have a setback and it like pushes you down. And every single time you're just kind of drowning and it gets further and further away from you. And that's really what's happening, is that as that prize is dangling there, you're going down in function. And so as you do this more often, you try and do it yourself, that's what you're going to find yourself doing, just declining in function. And then psychologically and emotionally, you question, was this the right thing for me to do? When in reality, it was the right thing to do. There's amazing results to be had with stem cell injections. The reality is you didn't do the rehab and recovery process properly because you tried to do it on your own and save a couple dollars, save a couple hours, when in reality, you spent all this time and money to do it, and you wanted to skimp on the time and money to recover properly. It's just not a good equation. So those are the dangers of doing this yourself, and I would never advocate it. If you were my family, I would never tell you to do that on your own, because you just need a little bit of help, support, just to tell you which direction to go. Try not to do this. Here's what you need. And there's simple things that could change your results so quickly. So if you feel lost, you feel so uncertain, you feel like you're swimming and you can't reach that prize, and it seems like you're doing this on your own and you feel lost and you're delaying your recovery, and you're like, I'm fed up, fine, I'll just ask for help. Reach out to me and my team at the Stem Cell Recovery Experts. We'll point you in the right direction. Start with a diagnostic consultation. Let's figure out where did you try and do it on your own? Did you try and do it from the beginning? Where did you follow the protocol? What was the proper thing to do from the very beginning? We'll just kind of dissect that and put you on the right path and give you some time points, some healing points, and what to look for, so you can now be in reach of that prize just a little bit more. And it all starts with a simple phone call. Reach out to us, let us know what you're looking for, how we can help, and it's one step in that right direction. So I'm excited to be able to put you in that right direction, so you don't have to do it yourself and have a longer delay with limited results. And with us, we can point you in that right direction. So I'm excited to be able to have that conversation with you on the phone, and we'll talk to you soon. Hi, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for my weekly tips on recovering safely to create long-lasting results after stem cell therapy. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.